Hey yo, wait. I can't say that at the start of the video or else it'll get demonetized in the future, so... Welcome back to Terraria CALAMIUM. I don't want to waste time explaining what happened in the last episode, so... go watch it instead. Anyway, the first thing I did, continuing off from the last video, is I went down to the caves to beat the Torch God. I know. I probably should just not talk about it because every time it's just the same. So, to cut it short, I got the favor. After the Torch God though, I descended deeper in the caves to find some good shit that might help me in the long run. As the next bosses that I am about to face is the Eater. Also, yes, I know I can fight a different boss called the Grand Thunderbird, but I didn't know how to make the arcane dust, so I just ignored it entirely. I also, because I beat the Scourge last episode, the Sunken Sea is now accessible. For those of you that don't know, Calamity Mod adds a new biome under the desert, and it's the Sunken Sea. The blocks in it are like indestructible, not breakable until you beat the Desert Scourge though, so it's similar to how dungeon blocks are indestructible until Skeletron is killed, so that's that. Also, another thing, the Desert Scourge drops a useful item called the Ocean's Crest, which basically gives you the ability to stay underwater indefinitely, which is mighty useful when exploring this biome. Also, this giant clam naturally spawned while I was exploring, so I killed it. Giant clam is basically a naturally spawning mini-boss that randomly spawns that drops an NPC when killed. This NPC is called Seeking Amidius. He kinda acts like the guide, but also the merchant. So he's like both of them. After preparing for a long time, it's now finally time to fight the Grand Thunderbird. With some lead, arcane dust, and talents, I'm able to create the flare gun and its ammo. Though the gun is actually not used for anything else, it's just for summoning the bird, so it's kind of useless. But it's time to fight the Grand Thunderbird. There's actually a cakewalk because of the storm surge. Like, I was able to keep my distance while still being able to hit it. Unsurprisingly, I should have started with this boss instead of the Scourge though. After the Grand Thunderbird, I prepared to fight Lepus, or Lepus. If you somehow have not played Terraria on the phone, Lepus was an exclusive bond. If you somehow have not played Terraria on the phone, Lepus was an exclusive boss that spawns during Easter, or something like that. Its main ability is jumping and it can fucking duplicate itself? Turns out, Turns out this boss was the most annoying boss I've ever fought, because when I was close to killing it, it summoned a big fat ass egg, and me, being a fucking moron, constantly was far from Lepus, giving it a chance to lay that egg without me knowing. So here's what happened. After I killed it, I actually wanted to fight again, so I summoned it. But there was a problem. I'm still a dumbass. So let's just show the clip. I actually had to leave the game because if I died, it would stay there. Because I have a quality of life mod that removes my death timer, which makes me respawn instantly after death. They won't despawn. Also, speaking of leaving the game, I had to switch tabs and subscribe to this funny YouTuber called aykarimatzu. Their videos definitely helped me get through this Lepus situation. Anyway, after that stupid moment, I began running around the world building houses for my NPCs and shit. I don't know why I'm talking like this. Apologies. I'm just sick, okay? After the houses, I immediately went and explored in the jungle because I need an anklet of the wind. An anklet of the wind is what I basically need to upgrade my shoes. I think I talked about it, but I'll do it again. And of course, the usual Terraria fashion, I never get to find it. So fuck me, I guess. So I drown out all of my sorrows by fighting Crabulon. Crabulon is a crab. Yes, it's not like already hinted in the fucking name, but this crab is a gigantic fat piece of shit. And it will shoot out spores and shit because it's like taking over my mushrooms, especially the mushrooms on the crab now. So it's basically like some Last of Us bullshit where the crab died and the body was infected and now it's owned by mushrooms. Also, it has a sick fucking theme song, bro. After killing out Mr. Krabs here, I just wanted to kill more sea creatures, so I ventured out. Wait, no. I didn't venture out because I used the ocean pylon like a Chad. Essentially saving me time from running around, so you big time saver. Anyway, me hungry for some jellyfish sushi. So I summoned and violated her. I don't know why she has those hentai tentacles. I did not want to know what would happen if those were to touch me, so I avoided them at all costs. After getting that sweet jellyfish sushi, I accidentally blew my load and now I have to take care of this child. What I should have done is immediately went out to look for milk, but that's a bit too late now, so that's what happened. Also, I went to hell and mined some hellstone and got an old Lord Oat sword within my first bone serpent kill, so that's cool. Also, because I was mining for hellstone, I was planning on using molten armor until I get the obsidian one. And of course, I tested out my damage, and it has improved with the molten instead of gold. Anyway, I didn't want to impress my chat, so I went out to summon the Eater of Worlds. But I forgot one crucial detail. It's fucking hard. Bitch is hard to kill, bro. Like, there's a reason why I picked the Crimson Worlds, even though I like Corruption more. And it's because of this bitch. For some fucking reason, the Eater of Worlds is one of the hardest bosses ever in Master Mode. Like, I am not kidding. For some reason, Master Mode Skeletron Prime is easier than this shit. Like, what the fuck? So, because of my loss, I went on to try to make an Eater of Worlds boss arena in the Corruption. But while I was doing that, a HIVE cyst spawned. And if you don't know what that is, a HIVE cyst is a naturally spawning entity that can summon a boss when killed. It has a lot of health, so you don't accidentally kill it in the early game. So if you actually kill it, you're a fucking idiot. But I was a cheeky bitch and I wanted to fight it. And you know what happened? I died. I think that was a voice crack. That's kind of embarrassing, but I'm still keeping that because it's funny. But not only that, because of my death, I actually made more progress on its health than the Eater. The Hive Mind is easier than the Eater? The Hive Mind is supposed to be fought like after the Eater Worlds, but for some reason I made more progress on it, so You'd probably guess what I did next. What I did next, if you're a fucking moron, I fully finished Arena and went on to fight the Hive Mind. Also, I found a Blade Crest Oath Sword within a few demon kills, so that's nice. It's not like I'll get the upgrade directly after killing Skeletron or something. Skeletron Prime, I mean. Anyway, that's all that's happened in this episode. If you like the video, subscribe, I guess. I'll upload next year.
When I